Write chemical equations for the dissociation of the following compounds in water. Then label each compound as an acid or a base. As a hint, use your polyatomic ions table. So let's work through these one by one, starting right here with hydrochloric acid, HCl. When we think about dissociation, what we're thinking about is the ions coming apart. Dissociating kind of means separating or falling apart in solution. Okay, and so for our chemical equation, we're going to start with the compound HCl, and we're going to show that when dissolved in water, we can put water over the arrow like this, it will break apart into two ions. For something as simple as this, really the only ions can be H something and Cl something. Remember that we always have the cation or the positive one listed first, and so we're going to have H plus, that's the ion that hydrogen will form, plus Cl minus, which is the ion that chlorine will form, both of which are aqueous because they're dissolved in water. Second part, label each as an acid or base. In this case, we can see that HCl dissolves in water to produce H+. That means that HCl is an acid. Okay, let's work through the other ones. They're kind of similar. Here we've got lithium hydroxide. Lithium is going to be the cation. So upon dissolving, we get lithium cation. Again, we know from the octet rule that we're going to form a lithium plus ion. And the other ion is hydroxide, OH minus. That one is in your polyatomic ions table as well. We can see when lithium hydroxide gets dissolved in water, it produces hydroxide ions. That means it's behaving like a base. Okay. Calcium hydroxide is very similar. When this dissolves, it forms calcium 2+ ions, and it's going to form two hydroxide ions. We know it's going to form two because there's two hydroxides in the formula that we're starting with right here. It's forming hydroxide when it dissolves in water. That means it's behaving like a base. Finally, H2SO4. There's actually two correct answers for this one. What you can see here, we write sulfuric acid, H2SO4. We can dissolve this in water and we can lose one proton, one H+. What's left over will be HSO4 minus. Okay, that is in your polyatomic ions table. That's called hydrogen sulfate, sometimes bisulfate. Okay, and in this case, what we see is that H2SO4 is behaving as an acid. What you could also imagine though, right, is this. We could have both of these H's dissociate. So we would get two H+, and we would be left with a sulfate anion like this. This would also be a correct answer for this question, and in this case, it's also behaving like an acid. In reality, this happens in a stepwise case, so this one will happen first, and then the H+ will be lost from hydrogen sulfate like this. That's a little bit beyond this class, the intro level, so this is fine. Either of these answers will be fine for this class.